12 minutes past 3 right here on BMH Radio. The one playing in the background is Tribal. That is the name of the artist, and the title of the song is Going In. Before that one, I played you Carly Rae Jepsen with Too Much, and we have guests in studio. The name of the show is The Roommate, by the way. If you happen to be listening in for the first time, thank you for opening your door and your heart to, great conversation and music, as well as maybe engagement. Make sure that you are following us on our socials. It is at BMH Radio across all platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, as well as Facebook. So I'm just going to let our guests, introduce themselves. I told you before we went on that music break that, I'm giving you time to consider or, make up your mind whether you're going to allow our guests to come in. Because, when a roommate brings in a guest, sometimes, you could frown. But that's the nature of living with someone else. And today we have guests. Kumisho, before you went out, you said you had winter essentials, right? And that one thing you can't live without in winter is your blanket.
Yes,
right?
Blanket.
Right, let's introduce our guests and ask them what their winter essentials are.
Okay.
What up, man?
How are you?
I'm very well. How you doing, brother?
I'm alright. I love your energy, by the way.
Thank you so much. That's me.
So hyped up.
That's me all day, every day. Yeah.
That's great.
So you asked about my winter essentials.
Yes, your winter essentials.
Some body heats.
Oh, so it's the blanket with eyes.
Yeah.
The blanket with eyes is very essential.
The one different from mine.
Oh, yours doesn't have eyes.
No.
Oh, you just want blankets when there was no eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, that could work too. I don't know.
Well, if you are that person, I mean, by no means,
Yeah.
But for some people, you need, that body heat,
Yeah.
like they put it.
Yeah, like
Right.
it helps. It's like sometimes, the blanket's not doing the job. The heater,
Yeah.
the actual heater's not doing the job.
Yeah.
And sometimes a man needs some body heat, and then then the chocolate heat becomes the chocolate ha.
I guess you also gotta have game, for you to get, because if I'm banga this winter, then
So bad.
Come on now, people need to prepare for winter, like a month before, or
Or
2 months before,
start putting in CVs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Me, I put my CV a long time ago. So now my CV was it's like
Successful.
it's
application.
successful. I'm fully much employed. I'm in there like
Yeah.
swimwear.
Right, man. You know what? During winter, what do you drink?
What do I drink?
Yeah.
I don't really like coffee and tea and stuff.
Yeah.
But when I do, I prefer tea. I used to work for a coffee brand back in the day when I was still in Cape Town. And I used to work for a coffee brand, and then I had so much coffee that I don't really like it that much.
Yeah.
So it's either some rooibos tea, and then if it's a Friday night, some gin will be dope.
Oh, so it's the spirits.
Yeah.
Gin keeps that temperature.
Yeah. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say, obviously some flying fish.
Of course.
Of course.
Well, whether it's flying fish or whatever it is, it's all here on the roommates, by the way.
Yeah.
So you might just get something for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some water. You got that water.
Okay.
Also, it's cool. So that is Sphaka Ngonyama. I don't know if you want to go by Sphakamiso or
No. I think just Sphaka.
Sphaka.
I don't know if I should say Sphaka Ngonyama or just Sphaka or Sphakamiso. I like just Sphaka. I don't like adding my surname.
Yeah.
Like people don't have to know my roots and everything.
All right.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get
Yeah.
time to settle in and get to know each other a bit more. Let me play you some more music, and when we get back, we get right into the conversation. That now that we've spoken about winter essentials, I think in a few minutes' time we get into our regular segment, and that is what's in the fridge. We check out, who Sphaka is,
Yes.
All right.
and where you come from, as well as what he's been getting up to
Yes.
Of course. Let's do it.
lately.
Yeah.
So here's a song or a couple,
Yeah.
and when we get back,
Let's hope it's Paga's favorite.
Let's see.
what's your favorite genre right now?
Right now, I love Gom.
Yeah.
But I'm a piano doing
doing
the
the
damn, eh?
most. The
Like
piano.
they're doing the
Yeah.
most. But I feel like I'm still loyal to Com. So I don't know. Like
Yeah.
between Com and piano, if they can just fuse it,
Yeah.
like
Together.
DJ Target
Yeah.
and Kabza,
And
and
they
then
come together.
come together, and then
Yo.
they make pianos,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know.
This is a piano house, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
A bit. And gom also.
Of course.
Obviously, you can't leave it out.
Well,
Yeah.
a bit of everything, right?
You know, here's a bit of everything.
You're listening to BMH Radio, the coolest station ever.
BMHradio.co.za.
Radio. We got everything, a bit of everything for everyone. We went from, Igom to, I don't know. I don't want to stereotype and put it into a certain group, but a certain sound when you hear it. I mean, on the radio, and we got everything for everyone. Like I said, that was "I Like Me Better" by Luev, and before that, I played Yuzala, Les, and DJ Maporisa. Now they feature Dimpi Dimpopo and Munchan Saneli on that one with Onko Siam. I don't know if you are gonna be partying this winter or you plan on going out. Sphaka, I don't know if you go out and party in winter, or you just that indoor person and just drink indoors.
Hey man, let me tell you one thing. Rain or shine, that doesn't stop me. If I want to go out, I'm gonna go out. If I want to party, I'm gonna party. If I want to start chilling, I'm gonna chill. Doesn't matter if it's summer, winter, spring, autumn, harvest, or young around.
What's your go-to place? Like when you know if I just want to go here.
I think recently my go-to place in Joburg, in Johannesburg, it has to be Rockets. I think I've been going to Rockets a lot these past few weeks. Probably the past 2 months I've been more of a regular there. And then if I'm in Cape Town, I think Rand's Cape Town, it's a nice place, Ekailicha. It's very chilled. I'm actually going to be there this Sunday. So I think that's my go-to spot. Actually, I'm going to Rand's this Sunday because I'm in Cape Town. But if I was in Joburg, I'll be at Rockets.
All right. Before we get into where you're gonna be, right?
Yes.
There's a couple of places you've been in your career as an entertainer.
Yes.
And it started off, if I'm not mistaken, online.
Yes.
How was that like? How when you started off? How was the feeling? Did you ever, how was it? The whole experience.
The whole
just
experience.
starting up? Yeah.
Listen, like I remember it was. Are you talking about online radio?
Yeah, with Vibe.
Or Vibe Radio.
Yeah, with Vibe.
When I started with Vibe, I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't take it very seriously. It was more of like a hobby, and me and my friend just had a cool idea to start a radio show.
Sure.
And it's just to go talk smack, and even the show was called the BS Show. We were just having fun, making fun of people. It was like a Twitter radio thing.
Yeah.
It was more fun and more. We weren't thinking about money. We weren't thinking about brands. We weren't thinking about the business side of it. It was just us having fun, and I enjoyed it a lot. That's when I actually started liking and loving this radio thing, and that's when that show ended. I started my own new show with a Hectic 99 presenter. Her name is Esona. And then there was called the Cape Scene, and that's when I started taking things seriously, in terms of, hey man, actually I can make this into a career.
Yeah.
Which I didn't like. Well, like I didn't know how I was gonna do that at the end, but it was mad fun.
Did you ever think about monetizing, the whole thing, just not just doing it for passion? Was it always about passion, or did you ever think, I need to monetize my passion?
The only way I thought about how I could make money from that was probably through MC gigs, because I used to be booked a lot in Cape Town, doing some MCing work. So I thought it was only going to be a plus for me to be in radio, and so they know, okay, this guy is a radio personality on this station.
Yeah.
But the main way I wanted to make money was from MCing gigs. I never ever thought I could make money from advertising, and this was back in 2013.
Yeah.
So like I never thought of I could make money from radio. Even the station never ever promised us money. We never got paid for it. It was all about. It was just a passion project what we did, and it was really received well in Cape Town. And we had all the numbers, we had all the following, but we never thought about the money back then.
All right, and just before we get into playing music and getting into what you are doing now, right? What do you think maybe is the future of online radio? And it's relationship with social media? How is that? That duality kind of. Is it? Where do you see it going?
Listen, like online radio at the moment is very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult to actually make money and make it a big thing, because first of all, obviously it's online radio. That means there's data being used, and that means, and our data prices in South Africa are ridiculously expensive. So do you know what, if we could put if I can just rephrase your question or rephrase my answer to your question, and meaning that if our data prices would go down, online radio would boom in this country. Like there's so much potential, there's so much personalities, there's so much talent out there, and there's so much business, and there's so much things that can make it very, very big in South Africa. But at the moment I feel like online radio was bigger when it was first introduced than where it is right now.
Okay.
In South Africa.
So it's much more.
I think now we have decreased in terms of what its value. I would say its value
in terms of money.
In terms of the online radio space, like how it's valued by people, and how it's valued by brands, and how it's valued by the industry. I think it's not where it was, let's say, probably a year or two ago. No, 2 or 3 years ago. So I don't know what needs to happen, but something needs to happen. Probably data prices needs to go down, and maybe we can get much more engagement through online radio.
All right, let's engage on our socials. It's at BMH Radio, and tell your friends.
To tell their friends.
Exactly. To stream us live on www.bmhradio.co.za. The roommate is outside if you're not listening in. And tell them, we're ready to come in and have a great conversation and play great music. When we get back, I want us just to touch on, his involvement in, YouTube.
Okay.
And, maybe channels and creating content for YouTube, and what else he's been getting up to lately.
Of course. Let's do it.
If you've just joined us, then you are a bit late. We are like 15 minutes before we end of the show. It is 3:45, and we are currently in the middle of our segment, and that is What's in the Fridge. We have Sphaka in studio, as well as Kumisho. I'm just going to, wrap up that whole winter essentials conversation, right? Because I think for me, an essential... For me, like, it's a beanie. I know I'm wearing a cap. I don't know who I think I am today, ne?
Yeah.
But my ears, they are small, ne? So when it gets cold, they just get so frozen.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but anyway, I can cope. I think,
Yeah.
I need to get maybe someone who's selling a beanie. This is a chance for business also.
Come on now, guys.
Right?
Just go to the taxi rank. That's where I get my beanies. Take
Right.
your hand, you can.
And
then when they wear off, you go get another one.
That's
You
an
said
idea,
for
actually.
winter.
Then Wanderers.
Yeah,
somewhere there.
it's
Something
very
like
busy.
that.
All right, man. That was Blast Off. Played you just Phil Steen and Pharrell Williams. And before that was Logic with Homicide, and featuring Eminem on that one. And to start off that triple play was J Smash featuring MT with And they feature Kid Tini, Ginger Trill, as well as Fresh Boys. I don't know if you've heard the new Kid Tini song with Do Me.
Yeah.
With Stogie T, rather. But anyway, yeah, man. Let's get into the conversation.
Yes.
Right?
Of course.
What we're here for. We have a guest in studio. I want us to talk about V Entertainment and how you actually got into that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is actually pretty interesting story.
Yeah.
So, when I moved to Johannesburg, right,
Sure.
I used to be like a runner for event company, lost property, and they did events called Sneaker Exchange, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I used to be their runner, and I used to make sure everything's working, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then one of the partners of Sneaker Exchange is actually the creative director at V Entertainment at Don't Look Down Productions. And then he saw how I work, and he liked it, and he said, yo, I want you to come to Johannesburg and intern. I was like, okay, cool. And then I moved to Joburg, and I was an intern for 3 months. I did my internship. I was done with that, and then they gave me a position of being a production assistant at the entertainment.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I was a production assistant. I used to staple the scripts. I used to mop the floors.
Everything, just to be in the environment.
I just wanted to
Yeah.
be in the environment and just learn because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no prior experience and no prior qualification on anything that has to do with television.
Yeah.
And then I worked, and then I became, and then I wrote the script for the drop for Turn Up. Back then, hosted
Yeah.
by Scoop and Numuzi. Back then was Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then I wrote that script, and then the show ended, and then I wrote the script for Massive Music News.
Nice.
And then I flow managed there, and then I resigned
Oh.
because I went to Touch HT to to host a breakfast show there.
Yeah.
And then a few months later, they called me and be like, "Yo, we see what you've been doing. We want you to actually become one of our field presenters."
Oh.
So I went from actually an intern at that company to become the presenter in
Yeah.
a matter of like 3 years.
Oh wow.
Did you go to school for any of this?
Nothing. I learned it, and that was the dope part because I was an intern amongst two other females.
Yeah.
And they didn't get the job, but they were actually they had a degree or diploma or whatever
Sure.
in film and television,
Yeah.
and I didn't have anything.
I actually have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say that through your journey of being in television industry and stuff, radio, is it because of your talent, or you think that people that get there because they have qualifications, they have to be there, or
No.
you have to have talent for you to be there?
I feel like talent is just a portion, or it just plays a portion of the role in terms of where you are and where you're going.
Yeah.
I think one thing that helped me a lot was the passion I had
Yeah.
and the drive and the willing to learn, and I didn't mind the long hours.
But the passion also comes with the skill. You can't just be there
But
passionate.
Yeah,
about-
you know.
But the thing is, I had passion but no skills.
Really?
Yes, I had just passion, and then
And you learned on.
and then I learned. So I took my internship and me being there, being a production
Yeah.
assistant as my schooling.
Oh, okay.
But I was working there, so
At the
for
same
me
time.
it was, and I was there for about 2.5 years, and it was like almost like a 3-year degree. So
Yeah.
I learned. So by the time I left the company working production,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a script writer, I was a camera operator, I was an
wow.
auto cue operator, I
Wow.
was a decor operator. I knew how to vision mix, I knew how to write script, I flow managed.
Yeah.
So I learned everything because I had so much passion
Yeah.
for being in that space. And I was lucky because not everyone can get that same opportunity to work
Yeah.
at a place where you see yourself being in the future.
Yeah.
And I was in charge of backstage for the DSTV Mzansi Viewers Choice
Yeah.
Awards for both of them. Hopefully I'm doing it again for the third time this year.
Wow.
So it's more I think about passion and gaining skills and not being too big-headed to learn. Every day I go there, I'm learning. Even
Yeah.
presenting, I learned from pitching a show on Skipani and said, "Yo, I want to do a show."
Is that where it
Yeah.
all started on Skipan?
So the presenting, it started on Microwave Boys, and then it went to Skipani. I did Microwave Boys for a year, and then Skipani, I pitched to them for an idea, and I
Yeah.
called it Gate Crash with Sphaka. They liked it. I've never held the mic and looked at the camera and presented before episode 1.
Whoa.
Wow.
And then for me, there was I always believe is that you won't get your blessings if you're not prepared for them.
Exactly.
So I had to prepare, and I
Yeah.
had to. By the time I know I will get that one big job, I'm gonna be prepared because I did Skipani, and it was a smaller platform. It's an online platform, but for me that was me mastering my craft and
Yeah.
me learning and educating myself and be like, because each and every episode I feel okay, my links are getting better. Even
Yeah.
now I'm still at Skipani, but you know, if I look at episode 1 and the last episode I shot, I can see the growth and I can see the difference in terms of delivery.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a multimedia, specialist in terms of your production? Who does your editing? Do you do it yourself?
No.
Your directing?
No.
And how involved are you on the online scene in terms of maybe making content for maybe online YouTube or just print or digital print?
I think the most I've been involved in terms of online was through Microwave Boys.
Yeah.
even the journey of Microwave Boys, like I was just approached and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. And it was a hobby that turned into a business. But I think that's the most I was involved in.
Yeah.
The most I get involved in with Gate Crash, let's say, with Sphaka, my Skipani show,
Yeah.
is I love to be there when they edit and be like, no, because I don't know how to edit.
Okay.
Okay.
I just know, and I'm always involved in terms of camera shots because
Yeah.
I did some camera operating for V Entertainment,
Yeah.
the old V Entertainment.
Okay.
So I know, okay, cool. No, check my headroom. I know, okay, medium shot. Like that's how I learned from V Entertainment, and then I take it to my own productions. But in terms of editing, in terms of sound, in terms of everything DIY, I don't do it myself. There's a
someone
team.
for you.
Right.
I always have a team
Okay.
behind me.
All right. Can I switch it up a
Great.
bit?
Of course.
You know, moving from the technicalities of what it takes to make content or to create and all of those things
Yeah.
to Microwave Boys.
Yes.
Do you still talk about Microwave Boys? Do you still talk about, you know, what happened after, you know, your statement?
I need you to be directly and harshly specific with the question.
All right.
Don't hold back.
All right. Do you still talk to Larry up to this day?
The last time I spoke to Larry was probably 2 or 3 days ago.
2 to 3 days ago.
Yes.
So you guys are
And-
cool.
We do chat. We with the whole Larry situation, it was very very tricky for all of us.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to react. I didn't know how, because the general public thought
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
kind of involved, and which is not true. We were not involved. We did not know any of those allegations.
Okay.
So what you guys saw for the first time is what we saw for the first time.
Yeah.
And we thought that it would be best to dismantle the show because it won't be Microwave Boys. Microwave Boys consists of 3 members: Larry, Sphaka, and Sipo.
Yeah.
And if it's Sphaka and Sipo, it's not Microwave Boys anymore. So to answer your question, yes, I still do talk to him every now and again, and I've seen him after the situation every now and again. We are cool.
A matter settled in terms of your point of view, in terms of where you're standing when you're looking at the whole situation. Did you find a place of reconciliation and say, this is why I'm still maybe, you know, a part of his life and we're part of each other's lives?
I strongly believe is in that I feel like canceling a person for their wrongdoings it's not going to help him at the end of the day. So if I'm going to be that kind of friend that says, yo, go away, I don't want you in my life anymore, it's going to be kind of selfish of me. And if I can be that kind of friend that can be like, yo, okay, cool, this is your situation right now, this is what you did, first of all, admit what you did, and let's see how we can help you and
Right.
to make you a better man.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if I just leave him, who knows what can happen to the next female, or the someone's mother, or someone's sister, or someone's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like I had to play a role and be there as a friend and to show him how can he move forward with my 2 cents advice.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean with the end of the show doesn't mean it can be an end of
Yeah. Everything.
everything.
So you plan on working together at some point again in the future, maybe?
Working together, I don't know at this stage.
Yeah.
I think it's too
Super mature.
it's too premature to
decide
say
or
that
not.
we're gonna work together
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe we might work together. Maybe we might not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Larry is the person that brought me to this whole space, because he's the one that asked me to be in part of Microwave Boys. I
Okay.
think that's one of the reasons why we even here
Yeah.
in doing this interview. But he brought me to the space, but I had to run
Mm-hmm.
because as I tweeted the other day that I was the underdog of the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm one of the most hardworking
Yeah.
members of Microwave Boys. So with working with Larry, I don't know. It's a maybe or maybe not. We will see in the future.
All right, talking about the future, I think Kumisho has a question for you.
Yeah, so
She's been quiet lately. I don't know what's happening.
I'm just,
Take
You're
it
absorbing.
It's so interesting.
absorbing.
I'm absorbing all of this information.
know?
I'm like, oh my God, Kumi, you need to step up your game.
Okay. I know. Relax, Dugza.
Relax.
Yeah. No, it's cool. But I wanted to ask you from here now, right? With everything that you've been through, with South African, media industry.
Yes.
Are you looking to spread your wings, go overseas, or you just wanna build your craft here, be strong, and then you can spread your wings and go?
No, definitely. Like I always say, I would never travel and not afford to travel. If I'm gonna go to London, I need to ball out in London.
Yeah.
If I go to New York, I need to ball out in
Live
New York.
like a
you know,
New Yorker,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're still planning on bowling out
So
here
I-
first.
Yeah.
Like, look, I feel like I'm still a baby in this industry.
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, I moved here in 2016. I'm 3 years old in Johannesburg.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm still a baby. I think I'm about 2 years
yeah.
in the industry, I would say.
Okay.
Being known as Sphaka. But I have, as I said, I still do I still do microwave. No, not that. I still do Skipani.
Yeah.
Skipani, Cake Crash with Sphaka. I'm still on V Entertainment. I'm doing film presenting and I'm doing voiceovers. And this year, something new that I'm venturing in is acting. I'm part of a new production. It's probably gonna take off in your screens next year.
Wow.
But I'm starting to act. It's my first time acting.
Whoa, shout out to that.
But
Wow, shout out.
it's something that I'm learning, something that I'm
Yeah.
enjoying.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to build my name and build my. People always say this, build my brand.
Always.
Build my brand.
Everybody's a brand now.
yeah.
So,
So that's
Oh,
what
wow.
I mean. And still
Oh, wow.
be
So
working, still
moving
be
on
collaborating.
or moving forward rather
yeah.
for the
Yeah.
future, besides acting, what else is on the cards for you?
Okay, so for me, besides everything that I'm doing, I enjoy radio, right?
Yeah.
I did a beautiful show with Yaya and Simo called The Breakfast Wave. So I don't think I'll have a daily show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was too much. having a daily show
Yeah.
like on radio.
Yeah.
But I can see myself in radio probably like on a weekend show.
Wow.
I'm actually working on something like that. So
That's
probably
nice.
late this year or early next year, I'll probably have something.
Yeah.
Radio, some more acting. I think the more you do something, the more you get comfortable, and the more you get good at it.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's on the pipeline. Acting, more presenting. I might move from one channel to next channel.
Yeah.
I might be leaving Vient. I might not. I might
Yeah.
be going to other stations, other TV show channels rather. So I think that's what I'm basically building at the moment. It's just growth. Growth is important whatever
Yeah.
you do.
It's incredible. Wow.
All right, man. And just final statement, maybe in one sentence, for someone who's maybe looking to venture or go into, follow your footsteps in the media industry in terms of radio, voiceovers, acting, whatever it is that you
Presenting everything.
do. What would you say in a nutshell, as advice to that person?
In a nutshell, I'd say do it for the right reasons. And when you start, and don't say tomorrow, start today
Yeah.
and be consistent.
All right,
Wow.
man. It's been real. It's been the roommate. We're
Yes.
closing off the segment. It's what's in the fridge, and I can tell it's a polar opposite of, you know what.
Yeah.
But then it's 4:00 right now, and I think Zandy is about to go on. Catch me again on Sunday from 10 to 12.
Yes.
We're gonna be hanging out at Eastgate Mall for the Father's Day.
Yeah. Wow.
Activation. So
Yeah.
make sure that you keep listening in on BMH Radio. Keeping it real, www.bmhradio.co.za is where it's at.
Thank you.
Knock knock.
Who is it? Who is it?
You are listening to The Roommate with Kabelo Molefe on BMH Radio.